you can see the energy that is already in the air. You know, we're always excited for this Coffy event. We're getting calls from Mississippi and other parts of the country.
I think that they will be very excited. They're exceptional workshops. As you can tell from all the noise, they are children and they are excited and they're ready to go.
So I actually have the pleasure of being a member of the board. I get to see firsthand the diligence and the passion of the committee members. And I really get to see how much of themselves that they put into providing these resources for the young people here.
I'm so grateful that this conference is taking place because we're at a time in our whole world where there's a lot of violence. And what it is I think, revolution. And this conference today is about our youth imagining change. I believe that they are the leaders of the change that's occurring, and adults are going to be their partners in bringing about that change.
I think this is helpful by showing kids that violence and shooting and stuff doesn't solve problems how they think it will.
It helps people really think about their future, and it helps people in the community think about how can they do better and how can they improve what they need to do in order to get a good education in life.
I hope that they will take away from the conference the capacity to understand their gifts and their talents and their contributions to their community and to society.
If I talk too much, even though it's my gift, and I don't know how to close my mouth, what impact is that going to make on my life? If I'm talking too much, I can't what? Listen.
A youth violence prevention conference like this is necessary because there's a sense of hopelessness, and it helps restore that sense of hope and that there's somebody that cares enough about them to invest.
I hear about a lot of shooting of children.
Lately, we have had a lot of violence in our neighborhood, and they're trying to bring about change in it, and I just really enjoyed some of the lectures.
A lot of kids feel like the norm in society is to be in a gang or be on drugs. And I think it's important that we instill positive social norms in the kids and let them know that there are people in this city and in Northwest Indiana who care about doing what's right and who aren't involved in negativity.
It can be hard to train sometimes when your life is being shaped no matter where you go from 8 blocks, one way direction or 8 blocks the other direction. You don't see things that lead to success, things that say that I can be greater than I am right now. We tend to call that society status.
If the woman's body was $1 million, that's all. And if you were meant to be like a commodity, a price tag, you would have been born with a barcode on.
What I liked about Mr. McCain's presentation is that he was straightforward. He told us a lot of things about music and how it impacts us on what we think and how we do things, and how it's trying to convince us to do things that we shouldn't, but still that if we have a stronger mind, we won't be convinced to do such things, and we can turn out a better person.
STDs are running rampant. I'm not telling you what to do, but I am telling you if you do it all right now, you have nothing to look forward to. If you do it all right now, you have nothing to look forward to. And that 30 seconds of pleasure ends up being a lifetime of pain. That few seconds of pleasure, that few moments of pleasure ends up being a lifetime of pain. My brothers, they say in Africa, men and sex is an ocean with no water. But many a man have drowned in it.
Coffy Conference has continued to grow, and it's quite exciting to come back and see the growth and the participation of the community, the caliber of speakers, and the dedication that the leaders of this event has had over the years to make it even better and more impactful for the young people of this community.
Today's conference was nice. You know, it had me actually thinking about, you know, some of the decisions, some of the choices that we made, you know, how it could really be harmful.
The number one reason for why there's violence in school is altercations. And so one of the things that I wanted to urge students is to try to avoid that. You know, when someone steps on your shoe, don't hit them or push them or get upset. Just let it go. If you step on somebody's shoe, just apologize. And I think that's the problem now. We're living in a whole different day and age where kids nowadays don't really fight fair. And so if you can avoid an incident, it's in your best interest to do so. These are all 6 reasons for what you should do to prevent violence. Apologizing, step on somebody's shoe. Join after-school programs. The Boys and Girls Clubs are always good. Don't hang with the wrong freaking crowd, okay, because they will get you in trouble. Tell your teacher, parents, if you're being bullied, read more and stop watching so much TV or playing video games. And then don't drink and do drugs because it leads to violence.
The thing that I like most about coming to this conference was that it gave us a way to escape the violence and show us what to do if we're ever in violence.
I think that, the conference is needed in these types of cities like Gary, just for the simple fact that, it's always a lot of murders or a lot of crime rate, and, they're actually taking the youth off the street and, trying to get them to do something productive with their lives.
You know how quick a homicide happens? What's up? And you mean mug me bam. That's how quick your life comes to an end.
At 17, with a thoughtless act that took the lives of 2 people, the person who did it, his life stopped.
If I have a child that comes in my classroom that consistently disrupts my classroom, what am I going to say to that child? You don't want him out of the classroom all the time. You know it's a behavior that he consistently does. As an adult, I need to try to role model to change that behavior, but what am I going to say? What is my response going to be to that child, even though I have all of these other extraneous factors, personally, that's bothering me? I can tell you, I'm going to identify the strengths of that child first. Everybody believes it's the youth that have to make the good decisions. It starts with adults making good decisions. And it was important to teach on it only because I wanted the audience to understand that if adults do not make those decisions, good decisions and responsible choices, then the children are not.
Sometimes in our effort to try to rectify the problem because of our own frustration, we end up responding in a way that exacerbates the situation rather than helps. Especially, I think, when you deal with a situation where the person who is responsible for providing the structure is very different from the kid that they're servicing, that it lends itself to making sweeping generalizations and stereotypes.
It is our ultimate goal to guarantee that we pass out information to this community to let them know that there are possible things that can be done to improve the environment, to reduce the level of violence.
I hope that the kids will have learned from this year's event that violence is not the end-all and be-all of anything, and I hope that they have had some hope instilled in them, because a lot of times we think that our communities, if they have violence in them or if there's a problem with violence, that's just the way it's going to always be. And they think it might be their legacy, that they don't have anything else to hope for or anything to look forward to. So I'm hoping that some of the breakout sessions that the children were able to attend were able to instill in them some hope for their future, that there are other ways to deal with problems rather than violence.